We're back with some more Lord of the Rings LCG, and tonight is Celebrimbor's Secret on Nightmare difficulty. So this one has a interesting setup with Belloc in the staging area again. Celebrimbor's mold on the secret chamber. This has a search mechanic. A quest where we are looking for this artifact against Belloc. I still think Belloc is probably a Raiders of the Lost Ark reference. Haven't seen any confirmation of that. Seems likely though. So you got in this quest a variety of scour effects. Scour effects are effects listed on a card, but they only do what the card says they do when another card triggers them. So you might get an encounter card that says trigger all scour effects in play, and that is what you'll have to do. And the Nightmare mode has an additional scour effect on it. Deal 1 damage to a character in play. Not so bad really, unless you get a lot of those. So we're getting out Faramir turn 1, and can get out the Ethir Swordsman as well with a good harvest. It's a pretty strong turn 1. So Belloc has a scour effect that is pretty bad. Belloc makes an immediate attack against each player in turn order. Alrighty, that's going to be on my chump blocker, who was left active for just this purpose. Then deal 1 damage to the active location. So if any locations get damage on them equivalent to their quest points, they get placed under the orc search. And that is a way that players can lose the game, because it increases your threat for each location under the orc search. So I chose the Ruined Plaza as the location I had to start with because of its pretty mild threat and quest points, but it is a little risky because it comes with 1 damage already on it. And so the wrong encounter card can put a location under the orc search immediately to start the game, and that can present a challenge with an additional threat every round. But I'm taking the risk anyway. And as we are on the second turn, there should only be 2 time tokens on phase 1B. So we're gonna clear the Ruined Plaza, which is great. Go ahead and move to the secret chamber. So we're going to need to clear the secret chamber and grab Celebrimbor's mold before it can clear phase 1. It's a pretty clean board here. No Steward of Gondor yet, but so far it hasn't mattered. Still been able to get out pretty much everything I wanted to with accelerators. But if I don't clear phase 1 this round, the doom clock will go off. I do have a lot of willpower though, so I probably can clear it. Bringing 18, so 14 progress, that'll do it. That'll clear the secret chamber. That'll make enough progress to clear phase 1, so just need to claim Celebrimbor's mold, and it's claimed as soon as it's free of encounters. So we're on to phase 2 before the doom clock can go off. And we trigger each Scour effect in play, so that's going to be Belloq's and Celebrimbor's Secret Nightmare. The Nightmare mode. So that's going to bring an Orc into play and deal 1 damage to a character. Or 1 damage to a location in play, sorry. Now I can travel to that location if I want to pay the cost. I guess I decide not to. So that's gonna place a card under the Orc search, unfortunately. And Belloq steals Celebrimbor's mold. So Belloq is immune to player card effects unless there is 12 progress on the stage. So we need to make 12 progress and then defeat Belloq. So I can travel to Bones of Holland if I place 2 damage on it. But I will opt not to. So just getting set up, and the setup's pretty good. With 2 Ethir Swordsmen and Faramir and 2 Knights of the Swan, I'm not too worried about the outcome of the quest at this moment. Should be able to quest for everything I need to and have all the combat power I need to defeat Belloq. Perhaps not in the same turn, but I'll get the progress first and then get Belloq later because there is no other order to do that. Belloq is immune to player card effects and can't be engaged until there's 12 progress. So, got the 12 progress, and Belloq's bodyguard is not good news because Belloq cannot take damage, and as Belloq has 50 threat and the bodyguard is 45, I can only engage one of them because I can only optionally engage 1 enemy per round, so that's going to need to be the bodyguard. I could have done it that turn for sure, and maybe I should have. But I'm slow playing things. So if I'd engaged Belloq's bodyguard last round, then I could engage Belloq this round. I don't need to focus on questing too much. Maybe I should have done it that way. I'm not sure. Probably have the combat power to take on both Belloq and Belloq's bodyguard in the same turn. But I opted not to do that. And so I'm just going to quest for enough not to take threat here, and then I will optionally engage Belloq's bodyguard. And it is Bones of Holland again. I guess I didn't want to travel to Bones of Holland because I didn't want to take the threat. When you deal damage to Bones of Holland, you have to take threat equivalent to the damage. I wasn't really sure what the threat was going to be like in this one because the Orc Search does add threat. So I'm thinking here that I want to keep my threat low, and I do have a lot of willpower to bring to bear, so I'll just leave these Bones of Holland locations in the staging area. Discard an attachment. I don't have one. All of my Steward of Gondors are in the very bottom of the deck this game. So I can take out Belloq's bodyguard and next round take on Belloq, but that does mean the Doom Clock is going to go off, which is going to trigger each Scour effect in play. That's going to be the deal 1 damage to a location, which is going to increase my threat, and Belloq's as well, which is bring another Orc into play. Means I'm going to be engaging the Orc Hunter this round with the threat increase. Though I would have had to do that anyway. I was at 34 last round, and after the refresh phase it would be 35 anyway. So I'll be engaging 2 Orc Hunters and Belloc this round, and when I defeat Belloc, that will end the game. I realize here I have to use Errand-rider before I can use gaining strength. No problem. So just questing for enough not to take threat. And it's going to be an Orc Hound into a trigger each scour effect or place a random card from my hand face down into the Orc Search. I'd be happy to do that if I had any cards in hand. I don't, so it's going to be a scour. And that's going to bring another Orc into play. Probably here I want to choose one that doesn't affect the game and that I don't have to engage right away, because I do want this round to be the last one. So it's going to be Belloc's Scout. I'm going to have to defend 4 attacks and then take on Belloc in order to end the game. And I should be able to do that. Can take undefended attacks if I need to and just sacrifice Denethor and or Erestor. So Belloc up first. If this attack destroys an ally, place X damage on the active location. There is no active location. Attacking enemy gets +1 for the card under Orc Search. Excess damage placed on the active location. There is none. Attacking enemy gets +1. So we weathered the attacks pretty easily. Just need 11 damage. No problem with 3 Knights of the Swan on the table. That will send Belloc to the victory display, claim Celebrimbor's mold, and end the game. So, this one wasn't too bad. It can get bad if a lot of cards get under Orc Search, especially early, because that can increase your threat quite a lot. So definitely limiting the cards under the Orc Search is important, and I took a risk with that turn 1 location, or the setup location, because the wrong encounter card could put it under Orc Search right away, and that would present a challenge, especially if another card got under Orc Search after that. Anyway, thanks for watching.